Hey guys, it's Allie with Cruise Blog. Today I'm going to be talking about two of my favorite people, my 64-year-old parents who absolutely love to cruise. I'll be sharing the 10 essentials that they always pack for every single sailing. Let's get into it. My parents are 64 years old and they've been cruising together for over 30 years. Now, in their retired years, my parents are cruising more than ever. Although my parents would hesitate to call themselves expert packers, they do have a list of must pack items for every cruise. If anything, my mom is an overpacker who stresses about strategically packing to make sure she doesn't forget anything. I asked both of my parents to provide a list of essential cruise items, and some of their top picks were pretty surprising. Here's their tried and true packing list of 10 things that they will bring on every single cruise. Up first, they always bring their games, including a cribbage board, 5 crowns, and a deck of cards. Cruises have plenty to do for activities, but sometimes you just want to play your go to card games. For this reason, my parents never cruise without their favorite games to play together. Their classic sea day activity is a very competitive game of cribbage in the solarium. They used to bring their full size cribbage board, but now my sister recently gifted them a travel sized cribbage board for Christmas. My parents also make sure to pack a regular deck of cards and our favorite family game, 5 crowns. Although you might find a standard deck of cards on the ship, it's a good idea to bring any games that require a special deck. Thankfully, card games take up very little space in your luggage or cabin. In addition, they always pack over the counter medication. Most cruisers will tell you to pack an assortment of over the counter medications, and my parents will definitely agree. One of their top cruise essentials is a small pharmacy kit with a variety of medications and first aid items. You never know when you're going to get sick, and you don't want to be stuck paying outrageously high costs on the ship. My parents pack cold and flu medicine in their pharmacy, along with cough drops, zinc supplements, sleep aids, pain relief, and allergy relief. This was particularly handy during our last cruise when my dad had a long lasting cough that actually turned into an infection. He was thankful for all the medication that we had on hand, as he didn't need to visit the local pharmacies in places like Vietnam or Taiwan. Like my parents, I have a designated pouch for my small travel pharmacy where I keep all of my must bring medication. In the same way, make sure you bring extra prescription medication in case of any delays or unforeseen circumstances. In addition, my parents always pack their hand soap and sanitizer. Staying healthy is a top priority for my parents when they travel, and nothing can dampen a vacation quite like a nasty cold or stomach bug. It might seem like a niche item, but my parents pack a small bottle of liquid hand soap to keep in their cabin. My mom usually grabs a bottle from the dollar store before each cruise and either leaves it behind for the cabin steward or throws it away at the end of the trip. While some cruise ships provide liquid hand soap in the cabin bathroom, Royal Caribbean only provides a measly bar of soap for cabins. Obviously, this will get the job done. However, my parents prefer having a liquid hand soap for cleaning their hands, as it's vitally important on a cruise to keep your hands clean. In addition, my parents bring plenty of hand sanitizer and sanitation wipes to use during their vacation. Hand sanitizer is in my mom's purse at all times, and she's constantly using this to keep her hands clean. However, my mom never leaves her cabin without her travel size pack of sanitizing wipes. Whether she's on an excursion or heading to the pool deck, she prefers to use her disinfectant wipes when hand washing isn't available. In addition, my parents always bring a variety of bags. My mom considers herself the bag lady, and she's become infamous for her wide selection of bags that she brings on every vacation. For each cruise, my mom makes sure to have a variety of bags to use throughout the trip. One of her must have bags is either a fanny pack or a crossbody to hold her belongings during days ashore. Depending on the excursion and the destination, she prefers to use her crossbody because it can hold more of her daily necessities. However, having a fanny pack is more convenient and comfortable. My mom also packs a cute handbag to use on the ship in the evenings. Sometimes she doesn't want to haul around her crossbody on the ship, especially when she only needs a few essentials. If she's planning to spend busy days ashore, my mom also likes to pack a foldable drawstring bag. While not super comfortable, drawstring bags take up minimal space in her luggage. They're also very versatile to use, either during her time exploring ports of call or around the ship. For longer trips, my parents will even pack an empty bag that they can use as checked luggage. My mom loves to shop during her cruises, often coming home with much more than she left with. Having a small bag that can hold a little extra weight can help mitigate overweight bag costs or the need to purchase an additional suitcase. And did you think I'm done? Well, finally, my mom always brings a small stash of sandwich baggies, which she considers a cruise essential. She uses them for all sorts of things like packing a snack for an excursion or keeping cash dry by the pool. In addition, my parents always bring cash and small bills for their cruises. The need for cash while traveling is becoming less important these days, with most destinations accepting credit cards or Apple Pay. Of course, while you're on board during your cruise, your SeaPass card will act as your credit card. Even so, my parents always make sure to have cash with them when they cruise. First, they'll provide cash tips to the cruise porters after arriving at the terminal on embarkation day. In addition, my parents always have cash on hand while exploring ports of call. This is good practice as you never know when you might need cash. My parents rarely exchange for local currency as US dollars seem to be widely accepted in many ports. In this way, small bills are especially useful for quick purchases at shops that don't take cards or for tipping your tour guide who might go above and beyond. More importantly, my parents use cash for onboard tips. Throughout the cruise, they'll use cash tips for bartenders who provide excellent service, and while my parents always pay their automatic gratuities, they also prefer to provide cash tips at the end of the cruise. Normally, they provide cash tips to their waiters in the dining room and their stateroom attendants. Next, they always pack their set of magnetic hooks. Many cruisers swear by magnetic hooks, but my parents didn't hop on the bandwagon until recently. Now, they never cruise without their magnetic hooks. Because cabin walls are typically magnetic, these hooks can be used around the stateroom for a variety of purposes. Cruise cabins are notoriously small, and hooks can help keep your cabin organized and reduce clutter. My parents mainly use their hooks to hang hats, bags, and light jackets throughout the cabin. On longer itineraries, when they've packed more, the extra storage becomes even more useful. Plus, the hooks are compact and easy to travel with. Number 7 is a roll of duct tape. While slightly unconventional as a must-have, my parents both agree that packing duct tape is an essential for their cruising. This can be a lifesaver in many different scenarios, and it's proven useful multiple times during their travels. On our last cruise, for example, my mom's suitcase had a ripped front pouch. My dad used the duct tape to patch it up for the flight home, preventing it from getting worse in transit. According to my parents, duct tape is great for fixing loose straps, broken zippers, or even securing last-minute baggage tags before heading to the port. You never know when you might need some sturdy tape. If you don't feel like bringing a giant roll of duct tape, you can bring some travel-size packs of duct tape to save space. Up next, they always bring their chip clips. Another must-have item, especially for my dad, is a small assortment of chip clips. Sometimes he brings a few clothespins or refrigerator clips from home, but he especially likes magnetic clips that stick to the cabin walls. He uses magnetic clips to keep excursion tickets, cruise planners, and immigration forms organized and easy to find. These clips come in handy for doing laundry in the cabin, as you can use the bathroom clothesline to hang up wet items. In addition, clips are great for resealing open snacks or bags of cough drops too. During our most recent cruise, my parents actually used their chip clips to secure the blinds shut each night. If the ship was rocking slightly, this ensured that their curtains kept any light from entering the room. Some might prefer to bring bigger towel clips, which can be used on the pool deck or beach to prevent your towel from blowing in the wind. These are versatile to bring on a cruise ship as well. For instance, my sister and I used her large towel clips to keep our blinds closed while sleeping on our most recent cruise, and it worked out perfectly. In addition, my dad says that he will never cruise without his own pillow. While certainly not necessary for everyone, my dad never cruises without his own pillow from home. Instead of relying on the pillows provided by the cruise line in his cabin, my dad packs his favorite pillow in his checked luggage. Of course, bringing a pillow from home takes up a lot of extra space in his suitcase, but since his packing style is pretty minimalistic, especially compared to my mom's overflowing suitcase, he usually has the room to spare in his luggage. My dad says nothing compares to your own pillow, and he sleeps much better with this comfort from home. To ensure his pillow doesn't get mixed up with the cruise line selection, he makes sure to bring a different colored pillowcase to help the cabin steward differentiate. And finally, my parents say they always pack layers. Even when sailing through the warm, sunny Caribbean, my mom always packs a few extra layers of clothing. She never boards a cruise without at least 1 or 2 lightweight sweaters to wear around the ship. She says the air conditioning can feel especially cold in places like the main dining room and the theater. Since she hates being cold, she always brings a sweater with her in the evenings just in case. Packing layers is important for most cruises, as the weather can be unpredictable and change frequently. This is especially important if you're cruising to destinations like Alaska, Norway, Iceland, or even Northern Europe. Weather in these regions can shift quickly, and you don't want to be without a rain jacket or a pair of pants when temperatures drop. All right, everybody, that's all we have for today. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure and like and subscribe to Cruise Blogs so that you can be notified every time we have a new video. Until next time, this has been Allie, and happy cruising.